Hey guys, what's going on? It's BradPhusion here, and today I'm playing some more Space Ninjas, and today I'm showing you guys the heavy armor blocks in a detailed comparison video, and I'm going to show you guys the room I've added on to my space lab when I get through this stuff first. So, heavy armor blocks were added in the recent update, which I think came out yesterday, but it came out when I was sleeping, so I wasn't able to cover it or do a video on it, though I have had a chance to experiment with it before the update came out when I was asked to test something. So you guys can see that there's already some crumble zones here, and this is because I've already done this video once before. I felt I rambled on a bit too long, so I actually got rid of that video and redid it once more. Or at least this is my second time doing it now. This shouldn't affect too much though. I will make sure that everything is nice and smooth before we go with anything, and I think that should be alright, I'll get to explaining in a second. Okay, so as I said, heavy armor blocks came out the other day, so I want to show you guys a decent in-depth comparison between them and the light armor blocks, at least for the large ships anyway. So what I have over here, really quickly, is I have a cockpit by itself, a cockpit on a light armor block, and a cockpit on a heavy armor block. Now, if I get into the cockpit by itself, it will show you the mass, which is 484 kilograms. Now that is what I'm going to take as a base weight, or as the weight of the astronaut and the cockpit by itself. So if I get into this, the mass in total is 984. So if I take away 484 of that, that brings me down to 500, which means that the light armor block by itself weighs 500 kilograms. Now if I get into one with a heavy armor block, it's 3,483. If I take away 483 kilograms, which is the cockpit and the astronaut, it leaves me with 3,000. So a heavy armor block weighs 3,000 kilograms as opposed to a light armor which only weighs 500 kilograms. So 6 of these are equal to 6 light armor blocks are equal in weight to one of those. So what I have over here is I have a whole bunch of layers of heavy armor blocks, so you guys can see how far a missile penetrates. I have one layer here by itself, a light armor layer here by itself, a light armor on front of heavy armor on front of light armor, and a whole bunch of light armor blocks, and one here again of heavy armor. Now the reason why these are here is because if we were to go by weight, all this here would be equivalent to that. So I want to see what would be more effective, having all of this or having one of them in terms of weight, because if I only need 3 layers of this, that's half the weight of that if you wanted a lighter ship, even though it would look a bit bigger. So I'm going to get this little teeny drone over here, and as I do that I will explain that I currently am running another mod which gets rid of my cockpit, and that is done by a friend of mine called Krolitian. I'll link his YouTube down below with the video of how to remove this, or at least the video containing the file of how to remove this. And I'm using this because when I film Gemini Adrift, it'll give me a different camera perspective and allow me to do some advanced camera recording stuff. So I'll leave it at that, and here I will shoot a rocket at the target, show you guys the impact on heavy armor. So as you guys can see, first layer was broken, second layer was dented. Not too bad. If it takes about 1.5 or about 2 layers to protect your ship, that's actually not that bad. So I'll move on to one by itself just to show you guys how that actually looks. You guys can see that it's got a pretty decent impact here, not too much, but the reason why I did one by itself is because I'm going to compare it with the light armor, which if you look at the light armor, you guys can see that the impact or the radius on the light armor is a lot bigger than it is on the heavy armor, meaning the heavy armor takes a lot more to deform when the blast goes further out. So the blast is obviously weaker the further away it is from the point of origin, meaning that this cripples a lot easier, and this takes a little bit more force for it to cripple. So in comparison, obviously heavy armor is a lot better than light armor. But I thought, what if you wanted a pretty heavily protected ship? Would you go with all heavy armor? But if it was, like, you know, I would do that, but I'd also like to keep my ship a little bit light. So here I've got 2 variants here with the heavy armor on the outside and light armor on the inside, and vice versa here with the light armor on the outside. I'm going to fire at both of these so you guys get a decent comparison. So as you guys can see, I'll get out of the ship real quickly. The blast is, like you've seen before, a lot bigger on the light armor and a lot smaller on the heavy armor, but we'll look behind at what has actually happened behind here. Now, as you guys can see, the light armor is a lot more deformed than the heavier armor is, and on the front here, it's kind of what you'd actually expect. But if I was to make a ship, I might go maybe heavy armor on the outside, light armor on the inside, just because I know that would take a bit more of a punch, and I can have everything behind here kind of all protected. Even though that looks like it turned out a lot better, I'd still prefer that one. Then again, I don't know, it's really up to you how you'd want your ship. Maybe you'd have light armor on the outside to make you, or to make your ship look like it's only a light armor ship. Then when they fire at you, they realize that you've got heavy armor behind that, so that's a good sort of a decoy. So now I'm going to move on to this over here just to see what would be more effective and how many layers this actually gets through. So we'll fire one there, and we'll fire one here. So yet again, that blast was actually a lot bigger. I don't know why that was so much bigger than what it normally is. Well, yeah, okay. That easily broke through that one layer. But this here, you guys can see that it broke through one. Easily it broke through the first layer here. And it started warping the second layer and the third layer. Now, as I have said, this only really damages up to 3. So in terms of weight, 3 of these are good enough to protect you as one layer of heavy armor, but it would be half the weight. I guess it would be maybe more cost, even though I don't know how much it costs to actually make heavy armor blocks. But in terms of effectiveness, or in terms of weight, light armor seems to be the way to go. I have a funny feeling that they might change the weight of heavy armor blocks, but then again, I'm not entirely sure about that. But anyway, I'm going to leave this here and move on to my lab. So there's a detailed look on the heavy armor compared to light armor, and I will move down to the labs. And before I go, I just want to let you guys know that that's actually light armor. It's just the camo I have on it. You guys can see the difference between my camo and their camo over here. It looks a bit more digital, as though mine's a little bit more abstracty. So yeah, I'm gonna move down to the labs, and you guys saw the inside of this here. This is the outside with all the gravity generators to pull you along, and then it'll pull you down inside here. And I'm going to show you the first room again once more. Whoops, I don't know why I turned off my jetpack then. That was an idiot move. Okay, I'm going to go full right down here to show you guys this room. Now you guys have seen it. You're right, that's light. You guys have seen this room before, where it has the bridge that you have to raise up by doing a jumping puzzle. But I've added these lights here to let you guys know that the puzzle is done. And the way the lights work is pretty simple. You come over here when you activate the control panel and turn the power on and get out. The light turns on, letting you know that you've done the puzzle correctly. And over here lights up as well, and the bridge is now up. And trust me, to fall down the jump. The jump is makeable. I've already tested it out like crazy. And then you move on to the second puzzle room, which is this one here, which is a puzzle I absolutely love and adore. Now, you look at this, you think, yeah, it looks pretty standard, really. Maybe just walk up here. Nope. Okay, so that's a bit weird. You think to yourself, come over here. There's that there, but you can't really get up there. So, guess you have to do that again. But you come back over here. Oh, you're back on this side now. But what if you go up this here? And there you guys go. You haven't fallen down. You're up here. And you got a slight little jumping puzzle to do. Now, the easiest way to do these would be that. Oh, what did I hit then? I'm gonna. Well, okay, I'm not gonna skip. I'm gonna show you guys that it's. What am I hitting? I'm seriously hitting something that's a bit weird. Am I? I'm not hitting the light or anything, am I? No, there's nothing there, but I seem to be hitting something whenever I try to jump. Okay, I literally made this in the first take of the... There we go. Okay, so now I'm over here, and you look around, you'll see that that ladder there. You can take it if you really want to, though it won't help you much. And then you've got the up here part, which you do the little jumpy puzzle to get up here. And when you're up here, you'll see, what seems to be a normal room. Oh, nope, gravity again. Just messing with you, even though that ramp looks like it's in the right way. Oh, look at that looks really weird. But yeah, I'm looking up the right way. No, you're not. And if you do fail, you can use the ladder like suggested to get your way back up, and then you can get up here again. And if you do fall down there, that's where there's a staircase up here to lead you up here. But the way you do this is actually quite simple. Oh, okay. Almost on it. Basically, you land on this, and then you jump across, and then you jump across. There you go, it's good. There's that puzzle done. So this is a bit of a weird one because it plays with another person's perspective quite a lot. And I haven't showed you guys the outside yet, but as you guys can see, this here looks like it's all one thing, and then you've got that there, which is upside down, which messes with you like that as well, and that looks kind of a normal. But then you've got this here on the wall, and then if you come all the way over here, you'll notice that this is all this way. So yeah, good luck with that. Building this was a lot more painful than it looks. I'll show you guys the outside. It simply comes down to trial and error with how to get this to work, and it looks like a weird, really weird thing I've got going out here. I've got that over there, and that gravity there affects the, what does it affect? It affects this whole room over here. It affects this part of the room up to about, let me turn my gravity thing on so you guys can see it down the bottom right. It affects up to that point there, so all along, hang on, all along here, there we go. All this over here is affected by that one that you saw down the bottom there, on the weird path, and that affects all the way up to about here, I think it is. Is it here? Yeah, here. So that affects to about here. Oh, hang on. Here. And then if you go back over here, you've got the normal one. So as you guys can see the transition, that's how it works. And the gravity over here is actually affected by a previous gravity generator that we used throughout that puzzle. So you've got this one here that affects all this space over here. Then you've got the one on the outside over here, if I can go to it, that affects this room here, pulling you downwards. And they actually don't cross over. There's actually a point, if you look real carefully at the gravity thing, you'll see it flicks over like that. So that's how I've worked this. And that's the basics of the second room, the gravity puzzle room. So I'm going to leave this here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.